when we were all growing up in our little small towns. Even Cleveland used to be a small town when we were young. That's gone a long ways. I told you about Chicago a few minutes ago in the 60s. Back then it was a small town, but I'm talking about when we grew up. Where did our morals come from? I'll tell you where it come from. That little theater that's on a square, on a one-lane road that went through the little town that we was all born and raised in. Guess who we went and seen every Saturday that we lived? After we got 7, 8 years of age, you couldn't wait to go see Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy. And you got more to name in your minds. Each one of you have. I never forget that guy that played with Roy Rogers. You know, one tell you right now. And Roy Rogers a rootin', tootin', shootin', son of a gun. Darn Betty. That was Trigger. I thought you'd recognize Trigger if you wouldn't recognize Gabby Hayes. No. But people, eight or 9 years ago, I wrote a script while Mr. Acuff was still with us at the Grand Ole Opry. And I thought how wonderful it would be to put our Grand Ole Opry stars along with our Western stars to do a movie. It would have been the greatest seller of all times, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I don't have time for that 360 pages that I wrote. We'd be here till day after doomsday. So I'm just going to do the last part where the guys with the white hats all win. Well, I'm not sure these guys, these 5 or 7 I'm going to do for you win. I'll let you be the judge of that. But I want to start out. I'd like to put Walter Brennan. That's Amos McCoy, Grandpappy Amos, the real McCoys, if you don't know who that is. Huh? I thought you'd like that. Well, not until I said Amos McCoy. Nobody in Kentucky knows who that is. That's the only show they get in Kentucky. And they get it only on a Sunday if they got a good wind. Please, no cars and letters. I put Walter Brennan with Roy Acuff, Little Jimmy Dickens, Gary Stewart. No, not Gary Stewart. What? Gary Cooper, Jimmy Stewart, those 5 are in this valley. And they ride up this hill in this valley. What was that? Sick horse. And there's 2 people that sees what kind of position they are in. And it's bad. It is bad. And they ride in to help them out, to save them. Johnny Cash and Mel Tillis. I'm not going to do that tonight. They're hostile, I can tell. Huh? You know it? All right. The first 5 I named to you, Walter Brennan, Roy Acuff, everybody, they're in this valley on their horses. And they ride up this hill. We have sound effects, just like the movies now, folks. Just like the movies. They ride up this hill to this great big rock. To this great big rock. To the great big rock. Do you think it's Mount Everest? It's just a little small hill.
I didn't know how big it was.
Well, when I'm supposed to say rock, you go boom.
Okay.
Yeah. They get behind this great big rock. You run up the mountain. Boom. On the piano. Get over there with him. All right. They're riding up the hill to the great big rock. There you go. And the men get off their horses because on the other side of that rock is 5,000 Indians. I told you we got sound effects for everything. Just like the movies. And the Indians are shooting arrows. The guys are shooting. The arrows are going. Eugene, do you think one of them Indians out there got a guitar? There ain't nothing but the drums are going. The drums only. Sad. And the first voice you hear is Walter Brennan saying to the other four men, "Well, sir, I tell you right now, somebody's got to do something. I swear to God, I'm going to sit here and be killed. Every dead last one of us going to be dead, dead, dead." And Jimmy Stewart says, "Ha, ha, 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 ha. Just a second. Just a darn minute here. Something's wrong here. I just don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but something's wrong. The Indians, they don't usually attack this time of month."
Year.
Year. What did I say? What?
You said month, it's year.
I'm sorry, man. I got to thinking about home there for a minute. You know, PMS time. Pretty mean squall. Just run up a red flag there. White flag. And let me go talk to the chief here. Let me see if I can get us out of this mess. Just go ahead. So he goes out there, to make a long story short, Jimmy does, to talk to the chief. And little Jimmy Dickens says to Roy Acuff, "Oh, Lord, Roy. Listen, Roy, they're going to kill us. Those damn Indians mean business. Listen, Roy. Oh, Lord, listen, Roy. Listen to them drums. They mean business, Roy. Them drums are bad, Roy. They're bad." And Roy Acuff says, Possibly, Jimmy, that is not their regular drummer. It could be a substitute from the Bill Anderson band. And that's the worst damn drummer in the whole world, I can tell you that right now. Possibly you can go out there and tell them to come to Opryland. We don't have an Opryland anymore. Gary Cooper says, you know something? I should have went and talked to that chief myself, but I can't get my teeth apart. I would have kissed that girl in high noon if I could have got my teeth apart. And about that time, in the valley, below the hill, two people heard what was going on and saw him pinned down. Johnny Cash and Mel Tillis right up that hill at breakneck speed. And they get off their horses and Mel runs in and says, men, what's going, tell him, John. What Mel's trying to say, men, is we know what's happening here. I know them Indians. They're mean. But I better go have a talk with them because I happen to know who they are. They're Chippewas from Oklahoma. And I got to be back at 4 o'clock. Because June's getting pregnant. She said, I need to be there. So let me have a talk with them because I know them and I think I can get us out of here because I was born and raised as an Aztec Indian in the great state of Arkansas. And I'm an Aztec Indian, so I know I can talk us into getting off this mountain. And Walter Brown comes up to John and says, is it a fact? Well, sure. I swear I didn't know you was an Aztec Indian. It's great. It sure is. Well, says Johnny, baby, yeah, I'll tell you something right now. Go ahead and go on out there. Have a talk with him. Yes, sir. You go right ahead, boy. But I swear I feel sorry for you. Yes, I do. I feel sorry for you. Because here you are, grew up as an Aztec Indian. And when you come back from out there, you're going to be a half Aztec Indian. I can tell you that right now.